Welcome to the series on Azure Migrate, your free migration and modernization platform, which helps you move workloads in a consistent and secure manner to Azure. In this video, we will show you how to use the Database Migration Service, or DMS, for migrating a database such as SQL Server to Azure. To migrate a database to Azure SQL Managed Instance, open the Azure portal, search for and navigate to the Azure Database Migration Service. Click Create to add a new instance. Choose SQL Server as the source, Azure SQL Managed Instance as the target, and click Select. Next, provide the instance properties, including subscription and resource group name, and create a new instance in the same region as your target managed instance. Once the deployment is successfully completed, navigate to the newly created DMS instance. If your backup files need to be fetched from a file share within your network, or you are performing a logical schema and data migration to Azure SQL Database, you will need the integration runtime. Install this on any server in your network with connectivity to the network share and the source SQL Server instance. If you have your backup files already copied to an Azure Storage blob container in the same region as your target managed instance, you can skip this step. Click on Configure Integration Runtime. Use the link to download and install the self-hosted integration runtime. Once installation is complete, the configuration wizard will open. Copy and paste the authentication key and choose to register the integration runtime. Start a new migration. Set the source to SQL Server and the target to Azure SQL Managed Instance. Since we have the integration runtime set up, I can choose either the blob storage or a local network share. Since my backup files are already on Azure Storage, I will leave it at blob storage. Migrations can be performed in online mode or offline mode. In the online mode, the cutover process is under your control. This requires manual intervention, but allows for a short downtime. In the offline mode, you can specify the last backup file to be restored, and the cutover is automatically performed for you. You will need to keep your application down for the entire duration of the migration to avoid any new transactions at the source, which may not be present in the backup files. We will proceed with offline mode here. Begin by providing details of the target Azure SQL Managed Instance, including the subscription and resource group. Note that the location is automatically selected based on the location where the DMS instance was deployed. Next, we provide details of the Azure Storage account and the blob container where the backup files are located. Specify the storage account name and resource group. Select the blob container and the top-level folder under which the backup files are located. Ensure that you only have backups for a single database under this top-level folder. Specify the last backup file to be restored before automatically completing the cutover. Provide a target database name. If the database is already present, you will be requested to specify a new name. With this, we are ready to review the summary of information provided and start the migration. The overview page shows all migrations. Clicking through into the migration shows us details of the backup files detected, those that were skipped as not being needed, and the ones that have been queued for restore. We also show the file that is currently being restored and the last backup file. The total size of the data to be restored is calculated and displayed. As restoration progresses, the total data restored is also displayed. Once the last backup file has been applied, the migration is completed and the target Azure SQL Managed Instance is brought online. It is now available to be used by the application. In the online migration mode, once all applicable backup files have been restored, the database is ready for cutover. When ready, click Complete Cutover, stop all incoming transactions to the source database, and take a final transaction log backup and store it in the blob storage or network share. Wait for this log file to be applied to the target database. Confirm that there are no pending log backups to apply and complete the cutover. Thank you for watching this video.